Your mind is limitless. The possibilities are endless. Awaken Your Mind Magic shows you how you can dream limitlessly and live your life on a new level. Susan Kathleen speaks with ordinary people who are living extraordinary lives using the power of their mind. Abundance, prosperity, and success. There are no limits to what you can dream. Join Susan Kathleen on a journey into your dreams, making a difference and living life on your own terms. This is Awaken Your Mind Magic.
Hello and welcome everyone. My guest speaker today is Loot Bryon-Smith, who creates self-empowerment music. He's one of the most inspiring and creative musicians, songwriters, and poets I know. He has this ability to make a person feel empowered, liberated, and positive after listening to his compilations. Loot's a certified life coach, motivational speaker, and mindset empowerment music artist. He has limitless creative power, and I'm so excited to have him here on Awaken Your Mind Magic. So, welcome, Loot. Tell us all about yourself and your incredible life story that got you to where you are right now. Hi, Loot.
Yes, hello everyone, and thank you for having me here today on your show. I appreciate it very much. Like I said prior to this interview, this segment, that we had been messaging each other for quite some time, and I just knew that it was unfolding, what direction it was unfolding, that we were going to get together and have a dialogue and just create, talk about something magical.
We sure were, Loot, and boy, are you magical. Wow, you are incredible. You're so inspiring.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so are you. I've been following what you're doing, and it's heartfelt what you're doing, and just expanding awareness and sending love out there into the universe. And that's what we need here, on a regular basis. And I see you doing your thing, continuously. And it's just, that's what we need,
Thank you, Loot.
Yes.
So, Loot, tell us how you got into what you were doing. Where did you start off with, how did you turn your life around and get to where you are right now?
Well, prior to creating the music that I create now, which is, like, as you introduced it, as self-empowerment music, which is music that inspires people and that, makes them feel liberated and positive. That at least is my intentions. But prior to that, years ago, and I'd say when I was a lot younger, or at least a bit younger, I was creating a more of a mainstream style urban rap music, more I don't really want to say negative, but just mainstream. It really wasn't uplifting. And I was doing that because, like a lot of people, I did what I thought was cool, what I thought would bring me money, what everybody else was doing. And it really wasn't, my heart really was never into it. And I'm not saying that the kind of music that I was creating, that no one's heart could be into it, but mine really never was. I was just a great, I would say, imitator. I was able to imitate what other people was doing and mirror what other people was doing and make it sound cool. But it just never really set right with me. And I can just remember this just one time in particular, in just being in the studio with some friends of mine, that we were all on this record label, and we were writing to a song, and I could just hear the lyrics that they were rehearsing and bringing back, and I just knew that at that time I could just hear the lyrics, that the destructive content, and then here I was engaging into this, and towards the end of me creating that, they knew it too. The people that I was around, they knew it too, that I wasn't into
Yeah.
it. I started to pull away. I started to make these songs that didn't make sense to them, but yet they still gave me respect because of my creativity, but at the same time, you could just tell they were like, okay, well, what's going on with him? He's starting to make these songs that are different from what we're talking about.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
awakening your mind magic.
Yeah. Yes. You could tell that I started to have that inner battle between, positive and negative, and the universe was tapping me on my shoulder saying, hey,
Mm,
this is what I intended for your gift, not what you're doing now. I gave you a talent. I gave you a gift, of course, but this is what I intended for it, for you to be a conduit and share uh, love and enlightenment and awareness and just beauty, things that will
mm,
uplift people. And I just knew from then on, from that particular moment on, that I needed to stop putting toxic music out there. And that brings me to a whole nother, just to basically a whole nother subject, which is just is what we hear in general. The things that we talk about, they have ways, they have power. So I always tell people, and I've come to find, from reading books such as by authors such as Neville Goddard and Napoleon Hill and Bob
yeah,
Proctor and Louise Hay and the guy that I mentioned, Jason Stevenson.
yeah.
Just we have to be aware of what we allow to come into our ears, because it makes an impression on our minds, our subconscious minds, and then it replays in our life. Somehow it manifests in our life. I can't explain to you as complex and intricate as they can, but I just know from experience that the lyrics that I was talking about before, a lot of those negative circumstances were occurring in my life. The just talking about alcohol and just promiscuous relationships and just all the negativity that came along with that. Uh, and a lot of people don't realize that a lot of their favorite artists, and I'm not here to put anybody down, but a lot of artists out there that are putting out negative content, if you really scratch beyond the surface, they have a lot of turmoil and conflict and negative circumstances going on behind the scenes when they get off of camera. You see the glamour in front of the camera, but then you end up reading a story a lot of times about some tragic things going on, whether it's substance abuse or things of that nature, or losing their finances. And I mean, that can happen to anybody, but
Yeah.
I think that the negativity that they've constantly put out there as like affirmations and has a lot to do with what occurs in their lives. So
So, I agree with you there, Lute. The thing that we do is manifest total negativity when you are creating negativity. And of course, when you understand the law of manifestation, you suddenly start to work things in a very, very different way. And with you being a spiritual person now, and from that, and you tuned into everything around you, what has that actually brought to you in the way of your life outside of the world of music, rap, and poetry and songwriting? How has that helped you?
well, I can tell you this, that I was creating that type of music far longer than I've been creating this, which has been maybe a little bit over 3 years. And I'll tell you, the people that I've drawn, the authors, the best-selling authors that I've drawn into my life, the motivational speakers, people like yourself, Susan, um, just continuously opens up. And before, that type of thing it wasn't happening. I can maybe name maybe one or two things that might have come from that, but just the the stories that people tell me, the testimonies that people are constantly telling me, in regards to the music that I'm creating, of how it's uplifting their lives and how they're playing it for their kids. And I can remember one lady in particular says that her kids, they love me. They sing and dance to my music all the time, and it they can even see a change in the behavior in the child and things of that nature. And since they've been listening, and that makes me feel good. It doesn't give me a sense of arrogance or anything like that, because I feel like I'm a conduit, and the universe is flowing through me, and then I'm just projecting that out there of I'm open, and I learn from people such as yourselves and books that I read and just life, you know and it just comes out. But just so many things have manifested. I'm traveling around the world, and I'm meeting people around the world. Like you're in Australia, I'm meeting people in London and in Greenland and in Australia and Ireland, and just none of that has taken place prior to this. And just with me not even knowing what the next step is, it's like the universe is just providing me that next step of which way to go, or that next opportunity. It's just a beautiful thing that's unfolding. And I'm learning also to take things that, as before, I would focus on negativity. Now, whatever I perceive as a setback or a negative, I embrace it. Is like it's just part of the process. That means if something closes here, I know that something is better coming, and it's just all that fear that I used to have, and that resentment and that anger, and I don't have it is like I did. We all still experience, we're all human, and we experience different emotions, but I'm not based on those negative emotions anymore, and those fearful things.
I love that you have shared that you choose to manifest love, peace, joy, positivity, great health, and wealth into your life. And that's from doing this, which consequently actually does that for everybody else who's listening to your music, and to the words to your music, and the words of your poetry. I call it poetry because it's poetry in motion, and it's fantastic. And that also is because you inspire and you enlighten others. And like you say, even people's children are now listening to this. And from the area in which you were before, where you were actually using the negative and things like that, you were consequently putting out there and impressing the young people who are following you, and the old people as well. And now what they're hearing is bringing in this incredible amount of people with this limitless creativity that you have as well. How many people have you got following you on YouTube right now at this moment?
On YouTube, I think I have about 10,000 followers, 10 or
Oh my.
15,000 followers. Yes.
10,000 followers listening to your fantastic
Yes.
input. So universe is actually out there saying, whoa, Loot, this is so fabulous. We are just putting out the vibration there for you. And here you are manifesting. Do you have anything to share with us? Any of your music at the moment?
Oh yes, I have something I can share. But
Oh, great.
as I'm looking it up, yeah, I just want to say again, it's very important to gauge what you listen to, what we allow. People think it's nothing when they're just, okay, I can listen to this on television and it won't make an impact. It does. It comes back in your experience when you're watching this violent programming, or this low, vibrational stuff, the media, the news that's talking about, constant death and turmoil and things of that nature, and you're feeding that into your brain, and that and that it just, first of all, it doesn't make you feel good, and it brings your life down, just period. It's hard for me to describe, but you want to put as much uplifting information in your mind as possible. And that's why I really don't watch too much TV unless I'm watching something like cooking shows or education, animal programs and things like that. And that's about it.
Me too. I think it was about 4 years ago. I made an active decision. I didn't want to watch the replays of um, CNN, and I'm not that I'm saying anything bad about CNN. What I'm saying is the newsreels, and I just happen to use that one, or Fox or Sky TV or any of these places where they repeat the same bad news right throughout the day, and you think it's not doing anything to you, just like you say, Loot. And then what happens? You sit at the end of the day and you can't sleep because you're so depressed. For me, I want to be joyful and happy, and the only way to do that is to listen to your music.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I was just talking to someone just recently that meditates a lot, okay? And they were telling me, sharing with me that they're still, feeling negative and a lot of times, and it's a battle. We all have battles, but what it boiled down to is they're meditating for 20, 30 minutes a day or whatnot. Okay. And then I got to the essence of what was going on is the conversations that they were having outside of that meditation. Like, what are you talking about when you're talking to people? Are you complaining? Are you engaging? Are you listening to, things that aren't uplifting, things that aren't helping you grow? And we found out that that was it right there. It's like, okay, you take this little segment of time and you say you meditate or you pray and everything's positive in that little time, but the rest of your day you're focusing and listening and talking, something negative. All that is affirmations and prayer as well. Your speech. The universe is always listening. So,
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That is the truth. There you are. I mean, this is the whole thing, is when you have this thought pattern going on and you are telling your brain that that is the way it is, that is the way you are going to conduct yourself. And that is what you actually bring in through the vibration of energy from universal spirit, God, whatever you want to call the incredible energy force that's out there. Because we have the energy force within ourselves. We're connected to it. And this is what a lot of your music actually what you speak about or rap about in your music. So it is imperative that we listen to something that's as uplifting as what you're doing. And you say that in the last 3 or 4 years, this is what you've been doing, and your life has changed. I mean, I
Yes.
watch you on social media. You've got your wonderful family, you've got a fabulous boat, you've got great life, and that is from this power of positivity that you use in
Yes.
your life now.
Many opportunities. It's unbelievable the opportunities and the things and the places I'm traveling to now because of a shift in my mind and just all in my mind, just in the shift and the focus on what I focus on and what I talk about and the music I'm what I'm projecting out there in the universe now. It's just amazing. I still have adversities, yes, that I go through, but I am better prepared to deal with them now, than before. I'm more
Yeah.
aware, you know.
So
So
what you do is when you've got that negative thought pattern, you can click on very quickly and say, not for me right now. This is not what I'm doing.
I can
Go
call
away.
that
I'll think
negative
about
thought
you.
out. Yeah, I can call that negative thought out and reject it and replace it with the positive, even if at that particular moment it's not believable for me, but just to start changing that direction of that thought. Then I might start singing one of my songs or, listening to a meditation or listening to you to get me out of that negative mindset. And it
It's
does not
important.
mean that the what I perceive as a problem is not still there, but I'm better prepared to deal with it. It's when you have things that go on in your life, adversities, it's better to have a clear mind and have a positive mindset when you're going through it and dealing with it versus a negative mindset, which will just drag you down further. So as I'm going through things, I can see clearly and I can not panic and not worry. And it usually ends up not being as serious as I thought it was after
Isn't that
that.
amazing?
Yes, it sort of just kind of dissipates, and it's just amazing and magical. So
It is magical. I love it. Mind magic. Perfect.
Yes.
Just what we got. So you
Okay,
got some music for us, Luke.
yes, I'm gonna
Come
play a
on.
song, and I hope it sounds good. I'm gonna try to put it in the speaker over here, and I'm gonna play it from my
I'm
phone.
sure it's going to be perfect.
Yes, and it's this song is
Okay, you're going to play
entitled.
from your phone? Oh,
Yes,
cool.
this song is entitled "Strength."
What's it?
Strength.
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 Cool.
Yes, and
Strength.
yeah, I wrote
Let's
this
go.
with the idea of just encouraging people to be strong. That we are strong, and we're stronger than we think we are. You know, our minds are the most powerful things. They're more powerful. Even scientists tell us that it's more powerful than the mega computer we have. We process more thoughts and more things, more information, and store more information than the biggest computer you could ever think of, the most complex computer. We're more complex than all of that. So your mind is just strong. And you tell yourself that, and you're constantly affirming that you are strong, you will see how strong you are.
There you go. Now, come on. Where's that music?
I understand that the clouds bring rain. I am aware that in life there is pain. I realize through this grief there is a lesson. Within the negativity there is a blessing. I won't appreciate it much if it's easy. I am relevant. This world needs me. I let it flow freely. That's right, I let it flow freely. I am aware, I accept it for what it is. What's reflected is gratitude, no resistance, just positive thoughts in an instance. My feelings, my actions, all align what brings satisfaction. This darkness will illuminate when I focus on the now, the past dissipates. Strength, perseverance, enduring, overcoming, persistence, focus, consistent, resilience, strength, perseverance, enduring, overcoming, persistence, focus, consistent, resilience. Look up to the sky. I hold my head up high. Through this pain, through the sadness, I remain steadfast till it's gladness. Through this illness, I focus on health. Through this poverty, I focus on wealth. Through this violence, through this war, it doesn't matter, I will still endure. I use the energy to make me stronger. I'm in the place where it hurts no longer. I don't identify with disruption. Don't need anger in my life, no discussion. Don't need adrenaline rush from a conflict. Although that used to be me, I must admit, my feelings, words, and thoughts affect me. Whatever they decide to do, I let it be. Strength, perseverance, enduring, overcoming, persistence, focus, consistent, resilience, strength, perseverance, enduring, overcoming, persistence, focus, consistent, resilience. Give me strength, perseverance, I will endure, be persistent, I will focus, be resilient, consistent, and overcome. I am thankful for the lessons in my life. I am thankful for the blessings in my life. I am thankful for my inner peace. Remain strong even when I feel weak. No matter how my circumstances may appear, I will not be overcome by fear. Life can be volatile, remain grounded. Don't be limited, be well-rounded. I'm open for a new experience. I'm a better person because of that experience. Through these failures, I am victorious, successful, glorious. Strength, perseverance, enduring, overcoming, persistence, focus, consistent, resilience. Strength, perseverance, enduring, overcoming, persistence, focus, consistent, resilience.
Love it. Oh, yes, I did. Wow, that just was brilliant. And
Thank you.
so good to have you actually speaking it or rapping it or moving it right over there as well. So thank you so much, Loot. That was fabulous. I loved it, and I know the audience will think it's fantastic too.
Yes.
So what inspired you to write that one?
Down right there,
I know about strength.
I was actually going through something in my life, with my family, and in pretty much a hard place in my life. And I wanted to, what better motivator than yourself? I mean, we need other people to light the light for us sometimes when our light goes dim. We definitely do, but you're going to be your best motivator. So if you talk, we all talk to ourselves. We all have an inner voice, and we all physically talk to ourselves. So I created this song as a basically a pick me up in that area, to know that, hey, I'm focusing on strength through illness. I'll focus on health. It doesn't mean that the illness is not there, but I'm not going to focus on that and give that any more energy. I'm not going to focus on loss. I'm going to focus on, look on the other side of that loss as what I'm going to gain after this, after what I perceive as loss. What am I going to get from this? And that's the way that I design my songs now, to really not try to deny that anything that is unmerited or unwanted happens, but not to focus and give it energy, to recognize that it's there, get all the knowledge you can from these adverse situations, and just triumph and have a testimony as to, get stronger from whatever you go through, and just focus on being victorious. And that's what that song. And I had I've had a few other people at that same time. And that's why I know it was the universe were telling me, can you create a song to help, build me up? I feel like, I'm lost right now. I need some strength, and one guy in particular, I think he was from the Middle East somewhere. He said, that he's basically seeing war and turmoil every day. And that's where I put that line in there that says, through this violence, through this war, it doesn't matter, I will still endure. So I put that in there for him. So it was a lot of different pieces that came together, but mostly, from what I was going through, and then from what a few other people that shared with me that, what they were going through. And then it just came to me. All the parts just came together.
You know what I love about you, Loot, is that you take time out with, like you say, somebody from the Middle East who's going through conflict and war. And you take time out to put something very particular in for one individual in the world who's contacted you. And this is what I find very appealing about you as a man. You down at the level of the people, and the people who are out there. You have this ability to share this love that you have for humanity, and the ability to be able to pull in all of the people, including me, where you think, I'm going to take time out to talk to this person. I have this instinct that this person, at this time, right now, universe has put this person in place. So you are aware all the time at this vibrational energy of what's going on, and taking time to talk to this guy, putting into your music, which 10,000 people are listening to, but it's for everyone and one person as well. And what I do agree with you, where you say when you're going through a bit of a difficult time, one's going through a bit of a difficult time, they suddenly realize that there's only one person that can sort it out, and that's yourself. And you can't blame everybody else for whatever's happened, because like you were saying earlier on, whatever it is that you've actually created in the vibrational energy of the quantum field, you end up with that coming back at you. So
Absolutely.
you're so aware of this, and I know that the strength we Les Brown, Bob Proctor, all of these, Stuart Wilde, all these amazing people. And I'm very fortunate because Mary Morrissey and Bob Proctor were my mentors when I was
Yes.
training to become a transformational coach.
Oh, wow.
These are incredible
Bob Proctor.
people, and they're great teachers. And you now have become a great teacher.
I'm becoming, yes,
Yeah,
thank
you
you.
are. Power to you.
Yes, it just feels it feels great. I mean, and like you said, um, that I'm still accessible, and I let people know that when I show these beautiful images, these videos, or these
Yeah.
places that I'm traveling to, it doesn't mean that I've made it to this place where I'm untouchable, or I don't go through, the same things that everybody else goes through, because I do. It's not like I'm going to put out there and focus on it, though. And if you do hear me talk about it, it's to just show you an example and a testimony, because there's going to be a solution at the end of that. You're never going to just hear me talk about something that I don't desire, or something that's a bad point in my life, without there being a light side to it, a light that's shining on it, to see how I overcome this. Because that's, I think, is the perfect example to show people that you still go through what they're going through. You still understand and connect what they're going through, but it's different when you change your thoughts, when you know, you go through less. It's not as harsh of things that you do go through. When you learn how to change your vibration, it's a lot more good things tend to happen, you know. But life is still
Well,
you know, life is still
yeah.
balance. It's still balance. And you just learn how to stay in that balance and that harmony when you start learning how to use your mind, and how to focus, and how to think, and how to use those adverse moments to actually be a stepping stone, and better yourself. So anything that comes your way is for your good. So I say, whatever happens is for my highest good. So it doesn't matter what happens. Oh, this might happen. Okay, some kind of way, it's going to propel me higher. So bring it on.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, facing your fear, say, okay, fear, you got a story to tell me. Hit me
Yep.
on the chin, because it's not going to hurt me. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to make it something else. In the Bible, do you turn the other cheek? And somebody
Yep.
slaps you on one cheek and you turn
Yep.
the other cheek. I guess that's what we do. We face our fear, turn our other cheek. And then what you do in doing that, you start to inspire everyone with your positive affirmations. This beat that you have, and you talk with the music, and you just, wow. I mean, what do you call this? I was going
Oh,
through the law of
rapping,
attraction.
hip
Yeah,
hop. Oh, law of attraction, hip hop. Self
yeah,
empowerment music. Yeah, hip hop music. Yeah,
yes. So law of attraction, hip hop. I want to do some of that. It's so
you can.
cool.
Whatever you set your mind to, you can do it. I already know it. And I didn't say this, but uh, some time back, before I start doing this, I was in a place where I was seeking answers. So I was listening to people like Bob Proctor and Tony Robbins and
Yeah,
Zig Ziglar and Brendan Pritchard, who's a motivational business tycoon, and just these motivational speakers. And I said, well, I want to talk like them. And Jason Stevenson.
yeah,
And I heard these motivational speakers and these people doing meditations in some kind of way. I said, I want to do all that. But then it came to me, I'm going to do that, but in the way that I know how. So I'm not saying that theirs is not good, because it is. We need all of that. But I wanted to add a different piece to the puzzle. So I said, I'm going to take what I already been doing, what I already know how to do, the talent that I already have, and I'm going to incorporate those meditations, those motivational speeches, all that into the hip hop music, and do it
yeah.
that way, because I don't hear a lot of that. I haven't really ran across anybody that does it. A couple of people, but not too much. When you search out there, you don't see too many people doing that. And I just knew that was meant for me. It was meant for me to do it. It is meant
I
for me.
only know of you who does that.
Yes. Well, there's a
It's
couple of people.
uniquely you. But this is where we talk about each and every one of us is here for a reason.
Yes.
And when we awaken our mind magic and we start to realize that we're not just part of a whole lot of humanity, each one of us is a unique spirit. And we actually experiencing this human form
Yes.
on earth, but we are this incredible spirit that actually is well, we are all energy. And you're here, and then when it suddenly hits you, where you suddenly become awakened and you say to yourself, this is me, this is my unique word, and this is what I'm doing. I am now doing the law of attraction hip hop.
Yes, this is my
I
purpose.
love that. I think it's a fabulous your personal development rap.
Yes, it's such
So
an
you're an incredible motivational speaker.
yes, it's such an amazing feeling when you know that you found your purpose. It's not that you're trying to find it, but you know for sure that you're just locked in and you know this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. No matter how many people embrace it or don't embrace it or are not ready for it yet, or whatever it is, this is what I'm meant to do. This is bettering me doing this, putting this out there and creating these songs the way I do is actually helping me to grow as well as countless others. But I know I found my calling,
Yeah.
my purpose in life.
You sure have. And so many people are just following you and thinking, thank goodness for Loot, because I can now be uplifted with his motivational law of attraction hip hop. Loot, how can the listeners get hold of you and get in touch and follow you? Do you have a website that you can actually share with us?
Yes, you can actually just go to Loot. The problem is a lot of times they misspell it, but because my name is spelt different from most traditional ways of spelling Bryan. But if they just look up Loot, anybody out there just look up Loot, Loot, Bryan, Bryon, Smith, Smith. So lootbryon-smith.com, you can find me right there. So you can do that, or you can go on Facebook and do the same thing and type in lootbryon-smith.com. Again, that's Bryon, lootbryon-smith.com, and you can find me on Facebook, and the same with YouTube as well. My YouTube channel is entitled Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. But if you don't remember that, you just type in Loot Bryon-Smith, and I should pop right up. I'm the only one with that 3-part unique name.
And you're the only one who's unique in
Yes.
your area.
Yes.
Loot, I love it. There's one quote that I loved that I picked up off one of your websites, and it's one of your favorite quotes by Plato. And we're going to sort of say goodbye now, and I'm really wanting to get you to come in again for, as many times as I possibly can, because I just absolutely adore you and I love your creativity. But what you love here with Plato is music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, a charm to sadness, gaiety in life to everything. It is the essence of order and leads to all that is good, just and beautiful, of which it is the invisible but never less dazzling, passionate and eternal form. Plato.
Wow.
And
Beautiful.
that embodies you.
Yes. There's another quote that, because I find quotes by influential people and just in regards to music, and those are my favorite kind of quotes. But one of my favorite quotes is by a man named John Ruskin,
Yeah.
and it goes like this: music, when healthy, is the teacher of perfect order, and when depraved, the teacher of perfect disorder. And that reminded me of me. Before, I was creating music that was creating disorder. Now I'm creating music that's perfect order, that's inspiring order, in life. So that quote hits home to me.
That
Yes.
sounds so. I love that quote. And, of course, order and you put dis in front. I can just see you doing a rap with that. The law of disorder.
Oh, yeah.
Disorder. I love that. That resonates with everything that you've spoken about today, Loot. And thank you so much for taking time to be with me today. Loot, I'm certainly going to coax you back. I know how busy you are, and I do appreciate having you here on this podcast today with me, all the way in the States, and I'm all the way here in Australia. And it's fabulous to connect with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love and gratitude to you too, Susan. I appreciate, you just giving me this platform to further, get my message and my passion out there. I appreciate it very much, and infusing it with your amazing energy, it's just taking it to another level, and I can't ask for any more than that. I think time is the most precious thing that we have, and you've given me, some of your precious time, and I am forever grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Loot. You are such a gentleman, and everyone, let me tell you, he's one of the most humble men I know. And he is on the way to huge fame. So thanks, Loot.
Thank
I'll
you.
be speaking to you soon, brother.
Mm.
Love you lots.
Thank you,
Namaste.
everyone. Peace, love,
Bye-bye.
and happiness.
That's Awaken Your Mind Magic for another week. If anything you've heard today has really impacted you and you want to know more, or you would just like to connect with me, then visit my website, awakenyourmindmagic.com, and reach out for a free one-on-one discovery session with me.
Silver on the outside. Silver on the outside. Gold on the inside. Silver on the outside. Gold on the inside.
Tune in next week, where I'll be discussing more tools to unlock your dreams and live a limitless life that you would truly love to live. I'm Susan Kathleen, and this has been Awaken Your Mind Magic.